Most people think a silent voice is about bullying, but that's not what makes it hard to watch. Because even when the characters are talking, it feels like no one is really being heard. On the surface, the story is simple. A boy who bullied a deaf girl tries to make things right. He wants to apologize, to fix what he did, to move forward. But the more you watch it, the more it feels like something deeper is happening. Because this isn't just a story about what people did in the past. It's about why they can't move on from it. At first, everything feels clear. There's a victim. There's someone who caused harm, and there's an obvious direction that story could go in. But a silent voice doesn't stay simple for long, because the more time you spend with these characters, the more complicated everything becomes. Not just what happened, but how everyone feels about it. Shoya's guilt isn't just something he feels. It completely reshapes how he experiences the world. He avoids people. He struggles to make eye contact. He believes he doesn't deserve connection. And what makes it feel real is that nothing fixes it. There's no moment where everything suddenly becomes okay, because guilt doesn't work like that. It stays with you, quietly, constantly, affecting everything you do. One of the most subtle things about the film is that it's not just Shoya who's struggling. Almost every character is hiding something. Regret, insecurity, fear of being judged. But instead of expressing those feelings clearly, they avoid them. They joke, they deflect, or they stay silent, and that's where the real tension comes from. Not what's said, but what isn't. At first glance, it seems like the story is about Shoko's inability to hear, but the film slowly shows you something else. Even when the characters who can speak struggle to communicate, they say the wrong things or nothing at all, and sometimes even when they're trying to be honest, they still aren't understood. Because communication isn't just about speaking, it's about being vulnerable. And that's something almost every character avoids. Shoya represents what guilt does to a person over time. He doesn't just regret what he did, he internalizes it. It changes how he sees himself, how he interacts with others, and whether he believes he deserves to be forgiven at all. Even when he tries to move forward, there's always something holding him back. And that something isn't other people. It's himself. Shoko represents the desire to be understood, not just physically, but emotionally. She tries to communicate, she tries to connect, but she constantly feels like she's a burden. And instead of expressing how she really feels, she apologizes, even when it's not her fault, which makes her one of the most tragic parts of the story, because she isn't just struggling to be heard, she's struggling to feel like she deserves to be. Ueno, and apologies if I've absolutely butchered that pronunciation, represents something uncomfortable. The refusal to confront your own actions. Instead of reflecting on the past, she pushes against it. She gets defensive. She avoids accountability. And because of that, she never really grows in the same way, which makes her frustrating, but also realistic, because not everyone changes. Nagatsuka feels different from everyone else. He doesn't carry the same emotional weight, and that's what makes him important. He represents acceptance. He doesn't just judge Shoko based on his past. He doesn't overthink things. He just accepts him, and that's something Shoya isn't used to. When everyone comes together, you don't get clarity. You get more confusion. People talk over each other. Misunderstandings happen constantly. And even when they're trying to fix things, they still can't fully connect. The X marks over people's faces is one of the most powerful parts of the film. They represent distance, not physical distance, but emotional disconnection. They show how isolated Shoya feels, like everyone around him is unreachable. And even when those X's begin to fall away, it doesn't mean everything is fixed. It just means he's starting to try again. Most stories aim for closure, a moment where everything makes sense, where the past is addressed and the future feels clear. But a silent voice doesn't give you that. Apologies are incomplete, conversations are awkward, feelings remain unclear, and that can feel frustrating. But it's also what makes the story feel real, because real life doesn't resolve itself neatly. And being seen means facing everything you've been avoiding. Your mistakes, your guilt, your true feelings. And for a lot of these characters, that's terrifying. So a silent voice isn't just about bullying, it's about guilt, about distance, about the difficulty of truly connecting with someone. It shows that even when people want to change, they don't always know how. And maybe that's why it stays with you. Not because everything was resolved, but because so much of it wasn't. Right, so that does conclude the end of this video, but before you guys go, I do just want to quickly shout out my Twitch. Yes, I stream on Twitch. I stream twice a week. My Twitch is at Ray on TTV_, and I mainly stream FPS and survival games, and it's not really connected to this channel, but like I am trying to build a community on there also, so you guys can go follow that. You know, I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.